Tonight on EA Sports, it's Sunday Night Football on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And pretty good field position here. He's out of bounds right at the 35. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Ward. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins on just 2 plays have taken the lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
They'll run on 1st down. Beasley. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McKenzie. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure, But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break at this point.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Back to throw. McKenzie. And this is going to be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Fielded just inside the 30. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, a focused unit. And they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down, Beasley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On 1st down, McKenzie. And this one caught by Beasley. And he's able to take it across midfield before... bounds. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were two things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Looking to throw. McKenzie. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Right back to him on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Back to throw. McKenzie. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Off the play fake. McKenzie. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up first and goal.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. This is first and goal from about the 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
To throw on second down, McKenzie. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. A very costly sack there on third and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on fourth. They'll look to throw on third and goal. And that will be incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're doing a lot of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Oh, my goodness. I thought he'd peel off. Instead, he makes the fair catch at the 2-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Ward to throw from his end zone. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 98 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 3rd down, McKenzie. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On 1st down, Beasley. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. On 2nd down now, Beasley. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And this will wind up as Saints 1st down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McKenzie. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Back to throw. McKenzie. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Miami set to take over. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Ward now on 1st and 10. Going deep for Hopkins. It got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. First half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. They certainly made quick work of that. Ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On second down, Beasley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
45 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
On 1st and 10, McKenzie. On the left side, he finds Beasley. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Looking to throw. McKenzie. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So a change of possession here on the punt. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Going up top. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the third.
Ridiculous.
Yard line. The Saints on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Off play action. McKenzie. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. McKenzie. And he finds Beasley, complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McKenzie. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Operating from the gun. McKenzie. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll look to set up his blockers.
A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. Miami's offense set and ready to go.
And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. We're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media, will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And room there to work it inside the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Off the play fake. Ward rolling to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coach. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out and take pride in your work and try and put something together here in the second half.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Off play action. McKenzie. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
2nd and short. That's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins 37. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job?
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this will be taken at the 13. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback.
with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That time a 9-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And some room to work. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense.
They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 26, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown.
Sure. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Looking to throw. McKenzie. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Returnable here from the 38. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Throwing on first down. McKenzie to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. McKenzie. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Good hands there defensively, and it's second down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. From the gun, McKenzie. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead. Run the football in that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They run the counter now on first down. And he's got this down to the 35. 98 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and goal from the 1. A give to the fullback on the dive. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw. McKenzie. He'll go right back to Beasley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. McKenzie. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Now a handoff looking right. And bulldozing his way through. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you can go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Dolphins, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.